And I'm your host, Dana Migliore. How are you today? How is your energy? Let's take a moment to get centered together. Deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Thank you so much. So today I want to talk to you about brainwaves and why they're so significant for you in your life and how this will help you, create your own reality, tapping into altered states of mind. It has a huge enhancement on how we can cohere with our consciousness. So a lot of us were mostly in a beta brainwave, which if you're not really familiar with the brainwave, it's just the electromagnetic fields, that are acting at a specific hertz, a specific frequency. And in certain levels of brainwaves, we can actually tap into, intuitions, natural healing capabilities, and enhance our manifesting. So I really want to talk to you, what are the easiest brainwaves, to get into, and some of the most powerful ones that you actually tap into while you're asleep, while you're slumbering at night. So it's really interesting episode that we're going to be getting into. And feel free to comment below if you're familiar with brainwaves, if you have any information on them, or if you've learned something new today. I'd love to hear from you. So what I normally didn't know I was doing, but I was naturally tapping into altered states in my brain. And this was unlocking specific things for me. And a lot of people say they have trouble focusing, right? And when it comes down to being a conscious creator of your reality, you really do need to fine tune and get into a zone where you're like, I'm focused on wanting to create my reality. But because our mind's so busy, or we got that ADHD mind, it's really hard to stay focused on what we're really trying to create for ourselves, and we get distracted. Okay, so getting into these altered states of mind really help you remain focused and in the state of flow. You may have heard that before, like in that state of flow. Well, that's what this means, okay? Because your body functions in a specific way that enhances so many benefits for you when you're in the state of flow. And so the first one I really want to talk about and get into is alpha state, because this is one of the easiest brain waves to tap into, and you can actually start training yourself on how to do this. And so in the Ascension workbook, I actually break down a 40-day technique that was taught to me by Vishen Lakhiani, and I believe who taught him that was a man named Jose Silva, or the teachings of Jose Silva, maybe not him himself. But this is a super powerful technique, because once you utilize this 40-day technique, you can instantly tap into an altered state of mind, this alpha brainwave, just by counting down from 3 to 1. Like 3, 2, 1, boom. And so I've actually trained my body to be able to do that. And that has drastic benefits for me. So I can't even begin to state the health benefits, let alone how this has helped me manifest my current reality. And so what you'd really want to do is you'd want to grab the Ascension workbook, follow through that 40-day technique. And there's a link here below, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening this on Spotify or Apple, go grab that now for you. And then look at it, because it's in the first couple pages where I break this down for you, because it's really important to get your body in that focused flow, in that altered state, because you can create so much more easier than when you're in a scattered brainwave. Okay, and so pretty much what's amazing about the alpha state as well is that in the first 5 minutes of you awakening in the morning, you're automatically in this brainwave. So you can utilize that, right? You don't even have to learn this 40-day technique. You're already there the first 5 minutes you wake up. Go to the bathroom, go pee, get what you need done, sit back down, and you can start, your conscious creation practice, whether that's a really active dynamic meditation where you're using visuals in your mind and simulations, Or maybe you're at this stage where you're still trying to take your power back of your mind, and you are using techniques of, having your mind focus on something else that's very mundane, like that ticking clock I talk about. It's where there's so many different types of meditation. So it depends where you're at in your journey and what's going to best serve you. So I would begin, if you have a really busy mind, you feel like your mind is not in control, you're not in control of your mind, your thoughts are thinking you, then you really want to do the 5-minute meditation, which is also in the Ascension Workbook. And I break down how to specifically do this. It is super simple, but just because it's simple doesn't mean it's not powerful and makes drastic changes in your neuroplasticity, so you can start rewiring your brain, and so you can start taking more awareness of where your mind goes, because that is the most important thing. Like, it's like not being able to take hold of a wheel in a car. How are you gonna navigate the direction? By telling it? No, you need to hold on to the wheel and you need to turn and navigate. And so that's the same thing with your thoughts. That's the same thing with your focus and your energy. So if you're not in control of that, the first thing is becoming aware of it and then getting in more control of it. Because the only thing that you can't control the outside things that are happening, but you can control internally how you react, what you think, what you say, what you do. That you do have control over. Absolutely. Some will disagree with me on that, and that's okay. But that comes with life lessons, that comes with learning. And you're going to get to a point where you do know that you do have control over that. Even if it feels when you don't, that just means there's so much momentum built up in that area of energy, in that subject, in that category for you, that it feels impossible to have control of it yourself. That's just how powerful you are, and you've created that. So you could do the reverse effect where it actually really works for you. Now, in alpha state, the first 5 minutes in the morning, there is this thing I like to do. It's like tricking the subconscious mind, and it is called, I call it lifted questions, because it helps lift our vibration and our energy, because a lot of questions that we ask our mind are very depleting. Like, why am I so tired all the time? Your mind is going to find reasons why you are tired all the time and prove it to you. So that's how powerful our brain is, like a Google search engine, right? So these lifted questions are also, actually, they are not in my Ascension Workbook. They are in my Manifestation Blueprint, which I go into depth on how to use these lifted questions. But just to give you a quick brush up on them, it's pretty much asking, like, why am I so talented at speaking in public, right? So see the reverse there, what I did there? Now my subconscious mind has to find reasons why I really am good at speaking in public, okay? Even if my egotistical mind wants to kick in and say, no, you're not, you're never really speaking in public, and if you did, you'd probably get nervous and you'd probably choke and you wouldn't do good at all, and stop. So you could almost tell the difference from your egotistical sense of mind to your active daily habitual mind, and then you have your subconscious mind, right? And they all come from different areas, but I've learned to sense the feeling of them, and they all feel very differently. So if you pay attention to how maybe your gut instinct would speak to you, or how intuition would speak to you, or how your insecurities and your worries would speak to you, you would start noticing these subtle differences in the way you feel, the energy that is portrayed while you're talking, what emotion you get into after whatever is said. There's so many cues to let you know, right? There's so many cues to let you know. And also, alpha brainwaves really enhance the feeling of calmness and increase creativity. So for a lot of you creators out there, I know a lot of you watching, you're creators yourself. So tapping into these altered states of mind, you can start getting even more creative than you already are. So if you're a writer, if you're an artist, if you're an entrepreneur, you can get into these alpha states and you start receiving even more downloads, and these ideas will come to you because your mind is in a frequency, in a hertz that is receptible to this information. You actually absorb information better. So if you are going to learn a class, if you're going to watch and listen to this podcast, getting into an alpha state of mind, getting into that state of flow before doing that will enhance your learning. So, and a lot of people that suffer from anxiety and, stress, which used to be a huge, 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 huge obstacle for me, alpha brainwaves, one of the most amazing things for that. There's amazing different techniques out there, focusing on your finger, doing all this weird shit. Even I used to tell people, put your hand on your forehead, because what happens is when we're in anxiety and stress, our body goes into fight or flight mode, which all the blood goes to the, like, around the middle of our body. And so that's why we feel this weirdness up in our brain, because it's taking from all our blood flow. So because we have electromagnetic fields in our hands, we can just place the hand on our forehead and it helps start generating more blood flow to your brain. And so it alleviates the anxiety. So there's tricks like that, but I mean, just getting into that altered state, especially if you do the 3 to 1 countdown, and you could do that within 3 seconds, be in an alpha state of mind to start enhancing your life, being more creative, learning better, and reducing stress and anxiety. Also, you get better sleep from it as well, and your body starts to be in a zone where it can naturally heal itself. Because when we're in certain frequencies, we're really toned, we're either tuned in or tuned out of our natural healing capabilities. And that's why, along with modern medicine, when people, use, this ancient Chinese, maybe some Reiki, some acupuncture, when we use energy medicine, okay, it has profound differences. Or when the person stage is just in a positive energy, why is the outcome always better for them? It's because they were in an energy that allowed their body to naturally heal. And that's why these brainwaves, these altered states that we can train our mind to get into, and alpha is the easiest one, and we're naturally there the first 5 minutes of the morning. So why aren't we utilizing this? Maybe because a lot of people don't know. And so this is why this episode was created, to really get you in this state of flow, get you understanding that you have access to this. You have a brain. If you have a brain, you have access to this. And don't knock it till you try it. If you're sitting there on the other side of the screen and shaking your head in disbelief, comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Let's start something going here. But also, if you understand, maybe you've been in certain courses or classes or trained by someone, or have heard of this before, and it's had profound shifts in your life. I'd love to hear that as well. So, shoot the comments below, let me know. I'm so interested, because when I first found out about it, I was really intrigued. Like, I wish somebody could study my brain. Like, if there's anybody out there that wants to put a machine on my brain and study, like, how I shift, whether I'm doing Reiki or a certain meditation or visualizing, like, where my frequencies in my brain actually go, and measure that, that would be amazing. Who knows, maybe this is something I can manifest in the future. But for now, it got me so excited when I started learning this. And I felt more empowered, because I'm like, I can now use a lot of the gifts God has given us, just like our heartbeat and our brain and stuff like that, that we take for granted, and we don't really realize that they have these altered states that we can tap into, that it's like a whole new world. Right? Our brain's not just for learning how to read, or, just be doing what I'm doing, having this conversation with you. You can actually tap into altered states in your mind to create new cells in your body, repair tissues, unlock the door to your intuition, which has had huge, profound changes in my life, which I also help people accomplish in the Spirit Ascension Method. This is a huge pillar. It is in step 4, 5, and 6. You would learn this, and it's in the last module 4 that we really get into that. And there is a mind exercise that I kind of make you listen to for the 30 days you're going through the program, that really helps your mind automatically get into 3 to 1 alpha state just by counting down. So super, super powerful stuff, guys. So not only is it the easiest brainwave to get into, but has profound health benefits. Okay. Now, also, what I wanted to mention is that your mind's always producing electrical pulses that make up the type of wavelengths. Each wavelength has a different set of benefits. Like when we sleep, we get into a theta and a delta brainwave. Now, these are even more powerful, I would say, than alpha, but they're really hard to tap into when in a conscious waking state, right? So, like, unless you've been a monk for 20 years, right, meditating in the Himalayas, but nevertheless, this is why we want to enhance the alpha, because alpha is just as powerful, but it's one that we can easily access in our conscious waking state to be a creator, and we can have more conscious control over what we want to enhance and learn and be receptive to. And that's why they say when you want to reprogram your subconscious mind, to listen to a program while you sleep, because your subconscious mind never quits listening to you. This is a huge thing for people who are wanting to make changes in their health, their behaviors, what's going on in their life, manifestation. You could listen to a program. So what is a program? I get asked that all the time. Well, programs are like series of really beautiful affirmations all set together, and there's a series of smorgasbord of them all over the World Wide Web. Okay, so you could Google a program like, I want to have better beliefs about my body, how my body is able to lose weight better, because a lot of people can work out consistently and eat healthy and still have a lot of trouble losing weight. And that can come from obviously something more genetic wise that they might be dealing with in the body as an issue, but it's also energetically, and it's also your beliefs about it. So if your beliefs about it aren't right and your energetics aren't right about it, no matter what you take action on, you're not going to see the result you want. And that's the exact same thing when it comes to creating your reality. So it's like, okay, so what do I got to do? Well, let's just say this. Meditation, always your key factor, and there's different forms of meditation. So find which one is right for you in the spot you are at in your life, because it depends where you're at in your life. You may need to take more control over your mind and start rewiring stuff, or you may be really good with your mind right now. You may be very aware of a lot of things going on. You don't really need to quiet the mind as much. You want to take it to the next level, and you want to start being dynamic with your visions. This is something I also teach in step 5 and 6 of the Spirit Ascension Method. It's a 6-step program, 4 modules that you go through over a 30-day period. And at the end, I also give you examples of what I learned with the Jose Silva method, which is a very dynamic meditation, and it's visualizing the screen, that this invisible screen. It's so cool how they train you on this, because just for example, right now, you're looking at me, I'm looking at this camera, here I am talking, but I could picture a screen in my mind, and I could picture an apple on that screen, and I could picture behind the apple's black. Now I snap my fingers, behind the apple's white. You start training your mind inside to see things that you come naturally to some people, and some people you got to work on. It's like a muscle that you have to exercise, right? So it's quite amazing. So it's just like, if you daydream, it's something very similar to daydreaming. It's just taking that to a next level, I would say. But so those for those of you out there that are very visual, and that you can see things, this is a huge gift that you have. You need to utilize this gift. And it can also work reverse for you. So you can see a lot of visual things that don't make you feel good. So you really want to radar yourself on where your emotions are at when you are doing these techniques. Okay, so very, very powerful. And so what I'd love to let you know is that you could create your own program. So if you want to tell yourself things about your body, you want your body to repair its tissue, and you want to be the healthiest you've ever been. You want to be able to articulate the knowledge you have in your mind. You can record your own program and listen to yourself while you sleep. You can find one online, my best advice is listening to that program in your conscious waking state so you understand what you'll be downloading into your subconscious when you go to bed, right? And some people don't like listening to something while they sleep. So you can also do this prior to sleeping, because whatever you marinate in your mind about while you sleep is also, that's where these brain waves come in. Your mind's going to go there. See, you might as well use this to your advantage. Okay, reprogram your mind to work for you, heal you, create the things you want to create. Grab the Ascension Workbook, begin getting into that state of flow, and practice getting into alpha from now until next week. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. And I just want to thank all the subscribers who've hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. It honestly means the world to me. And if you resonated or liked something about a topic in this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you have more questions about, alpha brainwaves or certain brainwaves, or maybe how it's had an impact on your life because you know about it already. And what I would love even more if you hit that like button and you shared this, because if this resonated with you and helped you to a specific level, it will help somebody else as well. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And until next week, guys, bye for now.
Did you like this episode? If so, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Are you an expert at creating your own reality? Do you have a story to tell that drastically changed your life? If so, message me at Dream Creation Podcast on Instagram, and don't forget to leave a review.